So you can look at me the whole time.
Okay, cool.
Can you tell me your first and last name and spell it?
I'm Aidan Batiansila, Aidan Batiansila.
Okay, and what year are you here at Concordia?
I'm a sophomore.
Okay, so Humberto was saying that you guys are obviously very good friends, and you were with him when it happened.
Yes.
Can you tell us from your memory what happened and how you guys responded?
Absolutely, yeah. So it was the night in October. I was in my dorm. He was doing a dance lesson with Michaela. They were just doing dance moves to get ready for like future auditions he was gonna do. And all of a sudden I get a phone call from him, and he sounded very tired. He's like, I messed up. Like I think I jumped weird. And he's like, Michaela thought it was low blood sugar, so I was told to go get food. So I quickly left, went to go grab food, and came back, and he was already on the bed. And I thought, of course, it's low blood sugar, so I was just, messing around. I'm like, here's a fry, and like all that stuff. But he was actually starting to breathe heavily, and then he did he had a seizure, and Michaela knew it was a seizure. I didn't know that, what it looked like at all. So I was very scared at the moment, but she was like, it's okay. And then we were right there for him, and then all of a sudden we looked at his watch, and it said 0 on his Apple Watch. So we were like, okay, so now is the time to act. I was told to go call Campus Safety 911, and I came back, and they're like, well, you gotta do CPR right now. And I did around 218 chest compressions, and then I was told to leave, and I did a bunch of questioning. But yeah, a lot of people ask me the whole story and everything. But whenever I tell people, they're like, well, you saved his life. I'm like, no, I think God really saved my friend's life right there. Because I would have ran away in fear. I was honestly really scared. Because I'd never been in a situation like this before. It's pretty scary. But I felt like the Spirit of God was guiding me to do this at this moment. So.
Yeah, I was going to say that must have been terrifying to see your friend seize and then literally see on their Apple Watch that he flatlined. Like, what was going through your mind?
I was thinking of the worst case scenario. I was thinking of my future. I was thinking well, what am I gonna do now? How am I gonna live without my best friend? Literally the night before, we stayed up until 5 a.m. just talking. We usually do that where we sit in the living room and just talk about life in general and stuff. And I was like, well, now what? My best friend is right here and his heart is 0. What am I doing? What's gonna happen next? But
you know CPR?
I do. I took training because I used to work at a pool in a summer camp, which that training really helped to, especially the compressions and the beat to it, to staying alive or whatever. So that really helped a lot. Yes.
Yeah. What would you want other people to know about the situation and jumping into action, helping, knowing CPR, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, I would just say it's a hard situation. It's a hard situation to be in, but I truly believe that God saved my friend's life right then and there because I didn't know what I was doing. I honestly was really scared, but when you're there and you're just like, well, you gotta do this to save your friend's life right now. You just gotta do it. You can't question it. You gotta do it. Because I was questioning my mind. I'm like, what if it's not gonna work? Because I was getting no response from doing the CPR or anything, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then once the first aid people came in, I was out in the hallway, and I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen next. I truly believe God saved my friend's life. So.
What was your first, thought when you heard that he was okay?
It was tears of joy. I visited him in the hospital when he's in the coma still, and that's where I met his parents, his wonderful parents. And then I got a phone call a few days later because we were doing a show here at Concordia, a Carole King musical, and I was at practices for that a lot, so I couldn't really visit as much as I wanted to until I got a phone call from Humberto himself, where I was like, I thought he was this guy with a coma, he couldn't talk yet or anything, and he started talking to me. So he's talking to me, he's like, how do I set up my video game console to my TV? I'm like, you didn't tell me you're okay? So I quickly canceled all my plans, and I drove straight down to the hospital, and I was just there for him. And it's just a miracle. It was just a miracle, and it was just tears of joy that whole drive, and just shaking everything. So
it's a wild experience.
Yes.
Do you have any thoughts? You good? I think we're good. Thank you so much.
How long have you guys been friends? I missed that if you said
So we've known each other since I was in high school. he knows a friend of mine named Zion. Then they went to my show at my high school, and that's how we met. And then we watched the Sonic movie together. Like, we didn't even plan it. And then once I got to Concordia, we became closer friends. So honestly, a few years. But yeah, I would say he's one of my closest best friends. Yeah.
So we're good. Thank you so much.